Hello everyone, good evening. It's been 25 years since the 16th century Babri Mosque was demolished and we still don't know who raised it. Now a trial court has zeroed in on BJP patriarchs LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Union Minister Uma Bharati, charging them with criminal conspiracy.
Now, what does this mean for the BJP? Is this the end of the road for Advani and Joshi? And will Uma Bharati resign from the cabinet? Or will the party turn this into a political opportunity? After all, constructing a Ram Mandir is a declared objective of the BJP. It's in all their manifestos, Marya. Before we get to our top story this evening, here are the big headlines on Epicentre at 7. It's a big blow for LK Advani, Uma Bharati and Murli Manohar Joshi. They will have to face trial for criminal conspiracy in the Babri Masjid demolition case after a CBI court in Lucknow dismisses their discharge plea.
A setback for the Modi government. The Madras High Court stays the centre's notification banning sale of cattle for slaughter, gives them 4 weeks' time to respond.
And the battle over beef turns bloody in Tamil Nadu. An IIT Madras student is thrashed and nearly blinded for organizing a beef festival. Well, yes, the ghost of the 16th century Babri Masjid is back to haunt the BJP, and this time it is threatening to consume its Margdarshak Mandal. Senior BJP leaders LK Advani and Murli Manohar Joshi, along with Union Minister Uma Bharati, will have to face trial for criminal conspiracy in the case.
In fact, a special CBI court in Lucknow has rejected their plea to drop the charge. Instead, the BJP leaders and 9 others will be facing charge under various sections of the IPC, which includes inciting a mob with an intent to cause riots, also of promoting enmity between the Hindus and the Muslims, and of defiling a place of worship. As the ghost of Babri is back to haunt the BJP top leadership, the question is, can Prime Minister Modi let an under-trial Uma Bharati continue in his Council of Ministers? Here's our top story at Epicentre at 7.
A savage chapter in independent India's history, when a communal time bomb exploded in the heart of the nation, sending shockwaves across the country. The demolition of the Babri Masjid remains a blot on India's secular fabric and continues to haunt the BJP. In a major blow, veteran BJP leaders LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharati have been charged with conspiracy, accused of fanning the communal fire that engulfed the nation 25 years ago. The special CBI court rejected their application to be discharged from the case and levelled multiple charges, including criminal conspiracy, promoting enmity between communities, defiling a place of worship, outraging religious sentiments, inciting a mob with intent to cause riots, provocative statements with intent to cause public mischief.
नहीं कुछ नहीं बोल सकती आप मेरी मर्यादाओं को तो समझिए जो कोर्ट में हुआ है वो प्रोसीडिंग पूरी राइटिंग में जब सार्वजनिक होगी उसके बाद ही बोलूंगी ना मैं.
She may have no comments, but it was during UPA 2 when the BJP in the opposition stalled Parliament demanding the resignation of former Railways Minister Pawan Bansal and former Law Minister Ashwani Kumar over serious charges of corruption and maleficence. Even before an FIR was registered. Even BJP patriarch LK Advani resigned as an MP in 1996 after his name cropped up in a Hawala case. His name was eventually cleared by the courts. Now the opposition has demanded Union Minister Uma Bharati step down pending trial.
One of the charge-sheeted persons is a Union Cabinet Minister, Ms. Uma Bharati. Having been charge-sheeted in this matter, she must forthwith resign.
The Supreme Court has given the trial court 2 years to reach a verdict, but all eyes are on the internal rumblings within the BJP. The Margdarshaks, especially Advani, led the charge against Narendra Modi when he was being pitched as the BJP's prime ministerial candidate. Modi and Shah have made the BJP a dominant political power, bigger than it ever was, and the Margdarshaks have been left politically inert, wielding little influence. These beg the questions. Is the court ruling the final blow to the BJP old guard? Will Narendra Modi and Amit Shah's BJP rally behind the Margdarshaks? And as the Modi government faces an image crisis, should Union Minister Uma Bharati step down pending trial?
Now, the charges that have been slapped against the BJP stalwarts are very serious. Yet, there is a very good chance that the BJP will turn this case into a political opportunity. An event to polarize the electorate, that is something that has worked very, very well for them in the past. Now, just to bring home the point of how serious the charges are against LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharati, let us tell you how similar they are to charges against hate preacher Zakir Naik. LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharati have all been charged with what? With promoting enmity amongst different groups. Zakir Naik too has been accused of the same offence. Then, the BJP netas have been charged with making provocative statements causing public mischief, just like Zakir Naik, who has been accused of giving speeches that spread communal hate. What's more, just like Zakir Naik, who has been accused of making controversial remarks against Hindu gods, the BJP netas have been charged with outraging religious sentiments. Remember, there is a non-bailable warrant against Zakir Naik. The government so far hasn't asked their sitting minister, who faces similar charges, to resign.
That's right, Shreya. And LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi and Uma Bharati, and along with 9 others, will have to appear every day in the trial court until exempted by the judge. And remember, the Supreme Court had said that this trial has to be concluded in 2 years. Story with huge political ramifications as the Ram Temple takes center stage again today. Joining us now on Epicentre at 7, Shazia Ilmi is the spokesperson of the BJP. Ghanshyam Tiwari here in my studio is the spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, and Sanjay Jha is representing the Congress. Shazia Ilmi, I'm coming to you. Explain to us why your party hasn't asked Uma Bharati to resign, given the fact that she is now an under trial minister.
Well, the charges have yet to be framed. I don't think you're following the news at all. The CBI, it was a CBI which went 2 years back after the charges in the Lucknow High Court were dropped to include conspiracy charges, after which Supreme Court made it a point to have a timely hearing and a daily hearing throughout until a judgment is to come to. Now the bail has been given, but the trial will begin now.
Shazia.
The trial will begin, and we're not sure whether she'll be charge sheeted.
Shazia,
we're not sure whether she'll be charge sheeted. So I think you are jumping the gun.
We are jumping the gun.
Excited about the fact.
Shazia,
the charges be
Shazia,
framed.
we are jumping the gun.
Yes, the charges.
It's 25 years too late. It's 25 years too late, and we are jumping the gun. Okay.
Exactly. But
so,
it's not my fault. No, your fault. Whose fault is it?
Well, it's the fault of India's...
Whose fault is it that it's 25 years too late?
It's the fault of India's judicial system and the governments, both the BJP and the Congress.
Exactly.
Both the BJP and the Congress,
so, let me finish what I was saying. So it'll just take a minute. So I'm saying not a single government in these 25 years of pendency asked for this matter to be speeded up, fast-tracked. There was a Liberahan commission and there were depositions. Now, Uma Bharati herself says that I stand by my statement. But as far as conspiracy is concerned, I don't think there was any premeditated effort
Section
to bring this down.
120B of the IPC.
Garnered support. I have mobilized support.
Shazia, can we just...
320B, exactly.
Okay, let's just look at... Let's look at all the charges.
You can talk, you've been talking, but you finish.
Listen na. Lamba nahi bola. This is, let's just
okay, you speak.
Okay, so I'm just going to read out for our viewers the charges.
आप बोलिए लंबा. आप लंबा फेंकिए. लंबा बोलिए.
Come on, you've been a newsreader yourself. Yeah, don't accuse us of things, we are not guilty of. I'm just going to read out the charges. I just want to read out the charges against the three of them. Inciting a mob with an intent to cause riot, promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion and disrupting communal harmony, defiling a place of worship with an intent to insult the religion, deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any community. The fact is, so far, Shazia, the BJP stand has been what? It has been, this was a group of car sevaks, very emotional, spur of the moment, spontaneous, they go and demolish the mosque. Very clearly, the court today is saying this was not spontaneous. This was all pre-planned and senior members of the BJP were involved. That is what the court is saying today.
No, court is not saying that.
Of course, that is exactly what the court is saying if it has asked for the framing of charges.
No. Court is not saying that. Yes, court is not saying that. That would be framing of charges. When the court says that they were responsible, that would constitute a charge sheet. So court is doing a hearing every day to charge sheet in which this will be said if the Supreme Court believes after deliberations and cross-examinations and many depositions with substantial evidence to prove that there was a cause and effect, there was a link from one to the other.
You have lots to explain today.
Effect, we know.
Shazia, you have lots to explain. Let me get Sanjay Jha now. Sanjay Jha, the CBI was pulled up during your regime for filing the appeal late against these leaders. You too did not ensure a speedy trial. So today, when the conspiracy charges are being framed, you're demanding resignation of Uma Bharati. What did you do when you were in power?
You know, that's not true really. I mean, everybody who's aware of all the judicial process since the Babri demolition happened will recognize that the Bharatiya Janata Party, when the NDA actually was in government, they put tremendous pressure on the special CBI court to let go of Mr. Advani and the other BJP
Sanjay
leaders
Jha,
in the
10
case.
years in government.
And you know, on finding a technical
the
ground,
Congress was in
all
government
kinds
for 10 years. You're blaming the BJP. The Congress was in government for 10 years. It's for 16 years out of those 25 years, the BJP was not in power, Sanjay.
Yeah, but let me answer you. You'll be aware that, in fact, our government immediately actually banned the RSS and the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the Bajrang Dal because we knew they were primarily responsible for the Babri Masjid demolition. But let me give you two very simple examples that will actually substantiate why we believe there is a criminal conspiracy. Number one, I mean, anybody, you know, many people who saw the medieval structure of the Babri Masjid are fully aware that, you know, there was no way that a sudden, you know, spontaneous instinctive reaction of a lakhs of Karsevaks would bring down that extremely strong edifice. It happened because
Sanjay,
actually you have Bajrang Dal people who were physically trained to bring down the Babri Masjid.
What the Supreme Court had said told the CBI then. CBI had said that this is a case of national importance, that it is a case of utmost importance. And despite of that, you said that you were sincere in ensuring that there is a speedy trial, but you did nothing as when you were in government.
Sure. Well, you know, can I answer this? I mean, you know, we are again going back and forth on the same old argument. The truth of the matter is, and let's recognize this without trying to be politically correct, our judicial processes are extremely cumbersome. We all know it. There are multiple cases of a very serious nature that take, you know, years and decades to resolve. I mean, this being the kind of case with huge political ramifications for the Bharatiya Janata Party, and especially the kind of subversion that happened when they were in power, especially between 1998 to 2004, did delay matters. I'm not going to deny that. But look at the fundamental premise that we need to argue today on your channel. That anybody who believes that lakhs of Karsevaks landed up on December 6, 1991 without being prepared to demolish the Babri Masjid are living in a fool's paradise. I mean, there was a chorus being heard that day in Ayodhya, which was Ek dhakka aur do, Babri Masjid tod do. No, just give me 30 seconds. I will give you the statement made by Mr. Pawan Pandey, who, by the way, is the prime accused in the destruction of the Babri Masjid case, whose case is going to be heard in the Lucknow courts, who actually has said just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that on December 5th, the night before the demolition, senior BJP leaders, including all of them mentioned in the charge sheet, met together and talked about the organized collapse of the destruction of the Babri Masjid.
So you are saying that this was a conspiracy. There was nothing spontaneous about it.
Let the court and the trials happen.
Okay, so essentially what you are saying is that it was a conspiracy. It was not spontaneous. Also, Ghanshyam Tiwari, just come in on this. You know, what worries you the most? Do you want Uma Bharati to resign? Because if you want Uma Bharati to resign, then many people can turn around and tell you, Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, that Akhilesh Yadav should have also resigned after the Muzaffarnagar riots. What worries you about the debate surrounding what has happened today?
What worries me the most today is that in normal circumstances, a leader of Uma Bharati's stature should step down. But in BJP, there's an atmosphere that any leader who's charged with communal riots steps up. Yogi Adityanath ji was charged with communal riots, he stepped up and became the chief minister. I am sure that Uma Bharati ji today is finally the charges have been made, and there will be a step up rather than step down. This entire atmosphere where you rise in politics because you are a co-accused or you are accused is only being strengthened by what Shazia Almi is saying today. She I've debated with her all day, and what she is saying is a white lie, which is saying that we wanted to build a temple there. We let the entire hujum come there, but at no point we are responsible for the destruction of that structure, which incidentally happened to be a temple.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, Mulayam Singh Yadav himself has said that he regrets the shooting, ordering shooting on car sevaks in 1990. He's himself said it.
Why should he not regret? If people die in a shooting, every time you shoot down your own citizens, you have to regret. But BJP does not regret. Shazia Almi does not regret that hundreds of people died because of riots that happened.
2,000 people, that's the exact figure.
2,000 people died because of riots that happened. More than that, where tens of thousands were displaced. Shazia Almi does not regret that. She thinks that was all incidental.
Yes. Let me get Shazia Almi on this. Shazia Almi, BJP in the last 10 years, when you were in opposition, has always taken this moral high ground. Against Pawan Bansal, there was only one FIR. In the case of Ashwini Kumar, there were only strictures by the Supreme Court. However, in case of Uma Bharati, she has been held culpable for pulling down the mosque. So these three incidents are not the same, but in the case of Pawan Bansal, Ashwini Kumar, Dyanidhi Maran, A. Raja, you demanded resignation. Shouldn't you be also following what you preached?
So so two things. If there is one party that has totally milked the tragedy and the political dividends for everybody to see is Samajwadi Party, it was Mulayam Singh Yadav who ordered the shooting of car sevaks, and we know what happened there, and how Muslims, he got the Muslim vote back.
You have won at least 4 elections because of pulling down the Babri Masjid.
Shazia.
I know,
and you are still milking it. What is Yogi Adityanath doing? Today he was leading this cavalcade, and tomorrow he is going to be in the same place, further inciting people.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Give me a minute to finish what I'm saying. My humble submission is that in Uma Bharati ji's case, and you heard what she said today, she says, I stand by the statement. I surrender myself to the jurisdiction of the court. But the fact of the matter was that I was part of any criminal conspiracy or an intention to cause a riot or destruction of a medieval structure of Babri Masjid, or as some people believe it was a disputed site, Ram Mandir.
You really want us to believe that all three were there making speeches?
Acharya Vedanti,
you know, I mean, it's very difficult for us to believe that they were there making speeches and asking the mob not to go destroy the mandir. They were inciting mobs. These are eyewitness accounts.
No, not only that. If you look at, let me just add, while you rebut, let me just add one thing.
One minute.
Let me add one thing. Acharya Vedanti has said on record today, that he takes responsibility. He instructed people to demolish the structure. So it is now established that there was a conspiracy to demolish the structure. What he is also saying that while I incited the mob, it is Uma Bharati ji and LK Advani ji did not do. So it is already clear from his statement there was a conspiracy. Now he is only trying to distance others.
30 seconds for Shazia Almi.
And also for...
I can do other things, you know. I have to move to another channel so we can...
30 seconds for Shazia Almi. Shazia, please go ahead.
Yeah, so if you... No, not 30 seconds, let me finish. So Acharya Vedanti said that we actually believed that it is a temple, it is not a mosque. We heard Subramaniam Swami say
he said he wanted to demolish it.
Not a mosque, it is a temple to start with. So let me finish. अरे let me finish. घनश्याम क्या हो गया? आप थोड़ा तमीज दिखा दीजिए. चुप हो जाइए 2 मिनट के लिए. हम बात कर ले फिर आप बोलिएगा. 2 मिनट की बात रखिए सिर्फ 1 मिनट की. So if they believe it was a temple, why would they conspire to break it?
He said
Think
that
about it.
he said
it's
proudly
a
that
temple.
he ordered to demolish it.
It was a
you
mass.
Look at his own audio after the court case today.
We got together, and then the collective action led to the destruction of this. But there was no conspiracy. There was no desire or an intent to bring the structure down, which many consider a temple from their point of view.
Shazia Almi, Ghanshyam Tiwari, let me quickly get Sanjay Jha on this. Sanjay Jha, you were talking about the conspiracy angle. Now the the trial court has said that the three, along with 9 others, should be charged under various sections for criminal conspiracy. What is going to be the demand of of your party, the Congress?
Right. Well, you know, I think we have always stated that we believe that ultimately the courts of India will deliver on the final justice on a very divisive. I think if you ask me, post 1947. This was the most cataclysmic communal disaster the country has ever seen. And, you know, as far as Uma Bharati is concerned, it's very clear as daylight that, you know, the Bharatiya Janata Party's strategy is very straightforward. They will brazen everything out. They will never let their leaders resign. And as Mr. Tiwari correctly stated, you take example of Sangeet Som and Sanjeev Balyan, everybody gets a promotion in the Bharatiya Janata Party hierarchy. So that's their dubious politics. I hope one day the public will address that problem.
Okay.
But on the larger issue of criminal conspiracy beyond Pawan Pandey, let me tell you, there was a Bajrang Dal leader called Dharmendra Singh Gujar who gave an open interview in an RSS newspaper where he said, we got training for a considerable period on how to bring down the Babri Masjid. So the Sangh Parivar or RSS, BJP, VHP, Bajrang Dal are all four responsible. Add the Shiv Sena to it. It was a very concerted, systematic, organized strategy. Justice Lieberman Commission, by the way, even included the name of Atal Bihari Vajpayee as being a silent conspirator who was aware of the destruction of the Babri Masjid.
Sanjay Jha, we'll leave it there for the moment, out of time. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP, thanks very much. And Ghanshyam Temari joining us here in the studio, thank you very much. Marya, what happens to LK Advani? There was some chatter about him being the next presidential nominee. That's completely out of the window now.
And he is 89. Murli Manohar Joshi is 83, Shreya. Clearly, I mean, they are already part of Margdarshak Mandal, which has not held a single meeting till date.
1991. So he'll be 91 by the time the verdict comes out.
Yes. So, on that note, we are slipping into a short break. Coming up, the battle over beef turns bloody in Tamil Nadu. We'll get you details when we return. Stay with us.
The big Babri primetime coverage. The day's courtroom drama on India 360 at 8. Should Uma Bharati resign pending trial on Face-Off at 9. Conspiracy charges a blow or boon for the BJP on Viewpoint at 10. The Babri Ghost back. Special broadcast. Your primetime appointment viewing on CNN News 18.
The Beef Brigade has struck again, this time in one of India's finest academic institutions, that is IIT Madras.
Now, this is where the drama played out this evening. This is where protests against the centre's cattle slaughter ban took a very violent turn when the organizer of a beef festival was attacked and nearly blinded. Suraj R, he's the man on the right sides of the screen, a PhD scholar in the Department of Aerospace. He is currently undergoing treatment to save his eye. He was beaten up by a group of 6 to 7 fellow students, and they threatened him with further harm if he continued with his beef protest. This is coming on a day when the Madras High Court has stayed the centre's notification banning the sale of cattle for slaughter. The Prime Minister's office also has indicated that it is very unhappy with the timing of this ban. Let's go straight across to Epicentre IIT Madras, where Purnima Murli is joining us from. Purnima, first of all, any update from IIT Madras, and can you confirm to us these goons who beat up R. Suraj, are they fellow students? Are they students of IIT Madras? Because it's such a shame if that's the case.
Well, Shreya, the information that we have at this point is that 7 to 8 people attacked Suraj, who was having lunch in a Jain mess, which is here inside IIT campus. And while he was having lunch, those 7 to 8 students made comments saying that he was one of the participants of the beef party that was organized on Sunday, and later on he was sponged, and he was immediately taken to the hospital, to a hospital in the city centre. That's what eyewitnesses are saying, that 7 to 8 students, and these are students from IIT Madras Institute. They are also students. Some of them are scholars, some of them are doing their masters in science. But this is the update. The police officials have now reached the hospital. They will be in fact taking a written complaint from Suraj very soon, and then action will be taken against these 7 to 8 students, Shreya.
Purnima, what is the dean saying? What are the students at the college saying? I mean, this clearly looks like that the cow vigilantes are striking at their free will, and the campuses in India now are becoming the new centers of flashpoint.
Well, we tried reaching out to the dean. He does not want to answer queries. He says that we should contact the PRO of IIT Madras, and despite 10 to 20 times we tried reaching out to the PRO, there's no official response. But remember, today at IIT Madras, police officials are here at the entrance because they're not allowing students to come from inside to talk to us, and they're not allowing even random people to enter, because initially the reports where the question was that who are these 7 to 8 people? Are they insiders, are they students, or are they outsiders? So just to ensure that none of the pressure groups try and enter the college to further aggregate the matter, police officials have been deployed checking every vehicle. Only students are allowed to go inside at this point, but clearly students we spoke to say that this was an attack by allegedly by the right-wing students who deliberately attacked Suraj, but none of them want to come on camera to talk about this.
It's tragic. It's tragic,
off the record,
Purnima,
who accepted that this was an attack.
Purnima, it's tragic that an institution of academic excellence like IIT Madras, some of the brightest and finest minds in India come to study here, should become a battleground for beef and should have a set of students who we today, this evening, are calling right-wing students. Do stay on with us, Purnima. Let's just quickly listen into what Suraj's friend is saying this evening. He has spoken to the press. Let's listen into him.
Surrounding him in an intimidating manner, but only one person physically attacked him.
Okay.
He was first hit on behind his head and then repeatedly on his right eye. Because of the swelling, they were not able to assess him.
Okay.
Because of that, he was taken to the... Right now, he is in emergency care. Around 7 to 8 people suddenly surrounded him so that even his friend couldn't interfere. By the time he managed to interfere...
it was almost over. What was the guy's name who attacked?
Manish Marsik. Here, complaint is being filed with the dean.
Purnima, you are saying that 7 to 8 students, in fact, were responsible for this incident. You know, I wonder what exactly is the identity of these students. You are saying we really do not know whether they are insiders or outsiders. And do they belong to any particular group? Are they part of some student movement or something that is happening on the campus, which perhaps... You know, I wonder who are they?
Well, Marya, at this point, what we understand is all these 7 to 8 students are also from IIT Madras. They are also students of IIT Madras. Police officials, however, do not accept it or even say on the record, because they say that the investigation is underway and they really do not know if these are students. But at least Suraj's friends we tried speaking to on the record, off the record, maintain that these are students. Manish, who attacked Suraj, is also from the same institute. Those 7 to 8 students are not new to them. They are also students from IIT Madras. And Suraj's friends, eyewitnesses claim that they allegedly belong to the right-wing group, which is why they did not like the fact that Suraj was also a participant of the beef party that was conducted on Sunday.
Are they members of ABVP or some other fringe group?
The 7 to 8 people who assaulted Suraj, who attacked Suraj, we hear, the report suggests that they belong to the right-wing group. They allegedly are from the right-wing group, which is why they did not like the beef party that was conducted here on Sunday night. There have been reports that Suraj is belonging to the smaller group, which is the which is the Ambedkar Periyar group, but there's no clarity yet. His friends, however, some of them we spoke to, say that he really was initially a part of it, but right now he's not a part of it. So we will have to get some more clarity in terms of whether he was an active participant of that group or not, but initial reports suggest that at this point he is not.
Okay. Adil Singh Boparia is the spokesperson for the Congress party. He is joining us here this evening on the show. Mr. Boparia, thank you very much for being with us. It seems that cow vigilantes, and I don't know why we are calling them cow vigilantes, they are essentially goons, have infiltrated institutes of academic excellence like IIT Madras. How tragic is that? Where do you think, I mean, what is the larger picture that comes out to you when you look at visuals coming out of IIT Madras?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's extremely unfortunate that a scholar, a PhD student at IIT Madras has been brutally beaten up by these fringe elements, by the Sangh and its affiliates. And this just reflects a pattern to this madness, a pattern to this vigilantism, a pattern to this violence. You know, there's a Pehlu Khan in Rajasthan, there's a Muhammad Akhlaq in Uttar Pradesh, there are Bakarwalas in Jammu. There is this incident of young hapless traders being beaten up in Kalkaji in Delhi. So there is a pattern in Jamshedpur. There is a pattern to this cow vigilantism and violence, which our opinion is very firm that it is aided and facilitated by the Bharatiya Janata Party and its affiliates. Now coming to the larger issue of these ban and these animal rules, you know, there are three.
You cannot really say that the party is clean because Youth Congress workers were involved in slaughtering a calf, and Rahul Gandhi himself had called this barbaric. So if there is something that is going wrong with one, you are equally involved in that element of protest. Is this a manner of protest that the Congress workers are indulging in?
Well, I'm sure you're aware of this, that we've suspended those Youth Congress members and we've condemned the incident. None other than our Honorable Vice President Rahul Gandhi ji has condemned the incident, and we've made it very clear that legal action should follow. Whatever the legal process is, it should be taken to its logical conclusion. Now let me deal with the larger issue. The issue is the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to polarize the society. The Bharatiya Janata Party is following its policy of the 3D, which I call the 3D of deceive, divide and distort. They have an agenda on their mind where this is the first step towards forced vegetarianism in this country. Universities have become war zones. People are being lynched, people are being killed, people are being maimed on the mere suspicion of possession of meat. This is going to have catastrophic consequences on the economy, on the fabric of our society. Now, let me just deal with the animal rules for a moment.
Before you deal with the animal rules, Adil, let's get a BJP voice in. Shaina NC is joining us. Shaina NC, lots of charges against you by the Congress this evening. Deceive, divide, distort. Do you want this entire country to become vegetarian? It seems that, you know, Gau Rakshaks have now infiltrated institutes of academic excellence like IIT Madras under your rule, under your party's rule.
Please understand that there is a directive principle of state policy that talks about cow slaughter and cow protection. Now, I think it's very, very becoming of the Congress party to give us a big piece and sermonize when they should be probably talking about what happened in Kerala. The Chief Minister has not responded. In spite of that, it's important to understand that the Prime Minister has said repeatedly that any kind of vigilance...
Kerala is not what we are discussing this evening, Shaina. I'm sorry to interrupt you there. I hate doing it. But Kerala is not what we are discussing this evening. I'm asking you what you make of what's happened at IIT Madras today. A PhD scholar beaten up for organizing a beef festival. This is happening under your government's nose, and it's happening over and over and over again. Pehlu Khan, Akhlaq, the Bakarwals in Jammu and Kashmir. So this is happening. You know, this is not a one-off incident. I want to ask you what you make of it and what your party makes of it.
The Environment Ministry said last week that animal markets will only be able to trade in cattle meant for agricultural purposes. It said that cattle for slaughter will have to be bought from farmers directly, defining cattle as bulls,
No, you know, it looks like that even the Madras High Court today has said that this entire move of
and you're
the
not even
Environment
answering
Ministry
the question really
is clearly ill-advised move. The question now is that the cow slaughters, or the cow, to be specific, cow vigilantes are striking at their own free will. The government clearly seems to be losing a plot as far as that is concerned. My question to you is, will you acknowledge today that these may be fringe, but they are clearly overshadowing the narrative that the government wants to build, that is about Swachh Bharat, about Digital India, but every day it is about cow vigilantism?
Well, please cite what the Honorable Prime Minister has said when it comes to any kind of vigilantism, where he has condemned and he has said clearly the guilty will be brought to task.
Okay.
However, the Madras High Court has put on hold the centre's restrictions on sale and purchase of cattle and for slaughter for 4 weeks, and has asked for a response.
No, but given the fact that again and again you are being made to comment on cow vigilantism, will you acknowledge that this is a narrative that the government could really, it is almost going out of your hands? You are trying to talk about issues, development, and here is something that is coming again and again.
It's important to also understand that what has transpired today and who are the political parties, whether it's Mr. Snalin, who's talking about snatching away of a fundamental right when he knows that there is a constitutional provision.
You know, Shaina, it's amazing. Shaina, it's amazing. Not once in the last 5 to 7 minutes that we have spoken to you, not once have you said what happened at IIT Madras shouldn't have happened. It's a wrong thing to happen. It's been 7 minutes. Now I'm prompting you to say it and you're saying it. That pretty much tells us what position your party has, what your position your party is taking. Shaina, I'm afraid we'll have to end it there for the moment.
I just want to make one comment.
Okay, okay.
Just browbeat me around.
30 seconds, Shaina. 30 seconds,
Our Prime Minister has spoken against any kind of vigilantism, and the guilty perpetrators of any crime who pretend to be moral custodians of society will be brought to task, and this applies for the IIT.
Okay.
But to suggest that we are making an issue out of a directive principle which is a constitutional provision is unfortunate. So let's understand.
Shaina, we'll leave it there. I'm sorry, I'm sorry for having to cut you there, but we are running out of time. Thank you very much for joining us. Adil, thank you for joining us, and Purnima, Murli, they're getting us live updates from IIT Mumbai. Thanks very much. Of course, we are going to keep coming back to you through this evening on prime time as well to get the latest from what's happening at IIT Mumbai.
That clearly is worrying what has happened. The government, though, at the centre is condemning that action, and the Prime Minister's office, as far as the issue of cow slaughter is concerned, they are of the view that the timing of that notification of the Environment Ministry is wrong. On that note, we are slipping into a short break. Coming up, we are getting you details of the anti-terror advertisement that has gone viral in the Middle East. We'll tell you much more on that in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
As the centre contemplates a relook at the cattle slaughter ban, the crux decodes the notification in the political context.
We are not bound to abide by this.
It's a state subject.
Does this embolden the already notorious Gorakshak?
Cow was never food, cow is never food, cow never will be food.
Who are the men who patrol state highways attacking cattle transporters?
जिस देश में पहली रोटी गाय को दी जाती थी, आज उसी देश में रोटी के साथ गाय खाई जा रही है.
The making of a Gorakshak tonight on The Crux.
Welcome back to Epicenter. An anti-terror advertisement is going viral in the Middle East. It's rather touching. Yeah.
Yes, and because it has been put out in the month of Ramzan, and given that it has been viewed millions of times already, Shreya, here's hoping clearly that it makes the world a better place.
Thanks for watching.
A new Ramzan advertisement is asking people to bomb hatred with love. The music video was launched on the 27th of May by the Kuwaiti telecom company Zain. and has been viewed millions of times on YouTube. The ad recreates scenes from real terror strikes and the famous photo of Omran, the little boy in Syria.